Hello, I'm Chrissy. For those of you who saw me last week, welcome back. For any new people, hello, welcome. Join the chair yoga revolution. So, a few things I like to say before each class, no matter what class I'm doing. Firstly, if we're doing something and it causes you pain or an unsafe feeling in your body, then please stop and come away from that sensation. If you have chronic pain or persistent pain, like I do, just be mindful of if your pain level increases or changes again in a way that makes you feel quite unsafe. And again, come away from that sensation. The most important thing as we're doing this is for you to breathe. Low bar to entry in all my classes. As long as you can breathe, that's fine. That's all I want you to do. Anything else is absolutely a bonus. So even if your movements are super small, barely perceptible to the human eye, it's fine. Even if you cannot do a particular movement, does not matter. You can focus on your breath, and there's always the option to visualize that movement, even if your body is not cooperating. So there is zero judgment on how much or little you do, how big or small your movements are. And it's not about getting to a particular pose, a particular version of it. Whatever it is that you do is the version of the pose that's right. So you don't need to worry about that at all. So pain, trying to avoid that as much as we possibly can. And breathing, yes please. Just keep your breath moving in and out. And that's all I ask. So I'm going to go sit on my chair and we will get started. So you can see me very elegantly getting up off the floor now. See, graceful as ever. Yoga is so graceful. So sitting in your chair, I'm in a nice hardback chair, you may be in a more comfy chair, it's absolutely fine. I'm just having a bit of a wriggle to get my sit bones nice and connected with the chair and finding as much length as you can in your spine. So it may be you want to sit quite far back and have your back supported, or you may prefer to sit a little bit further away and use some of your core strength to keep you upright. If at any point you notice that you're kind of rounding down, you've gotten tired, that's fine. Just sit back and let yourself be supported by your chair. It's all good. So finding your comfortable position with as much space as you can in your spine. Maybe giving your shoulders a little roll up, back and down to create a bit of space in the top of your chest. And we're just going to take a few breaths. That's all. Nothing stressful, nothing strenuous. Just a few breaths in and out through your nose. And use this time, these few breaths, to just settle. Maybe you had technology issues, maybe it was a bit fraught getting here. It's fine, all done. A few breaths. And we're going to start this session with a body scan. Now, we ended a session last week with a body scan. We're going to start with it today. So as we move through the different parts of the body, you're going to stop and pause and notice any sensations in that particular part. You may notice tension, you may notice discomfort, tingling, you may notice looseness, lightness, or you may notice an absence of sensation or something completely different. Any and all observations are fine. It's about cultivating that awareness of your body without judgment. So we're going to start from our feet, work our way up. So you can close your eyes if that helps you to turn inward, or keep your gaze soft. And as you breathe, starting from your feet, working your way up. So right foot, left foot, ankles, noticing the sensations. And maybe as you inhale, go up your calves, your shins, up to your knees, and notice the sensations. Then on your next inhale, coming up your thighs, the backs of your legs, to your glutes. Notice the sensations. And then on your next inhale, your hips, your pelvis, your low back, your tummy. And a breath to notice the sensations. On your next inhale, thinking about your ribs, the center of your chest, the middle of your back. A breath here. And then thinking about your hands, your fingers, up your arms to your elbows, and notice the sensations. On your next inhale, your elbows, your upper arms to your shoulders and the top of your chest. Notice the sensations there, or lack of sensation. Another breath all across the back of your neck, up your jaw, the back of your head. And a breath here. And your next inhale, your facial features, your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your forehead, and the top of your head. A breath, and notice the sensations. And one more breath. This time, notice the entirety of your body as a whole. One more breath, noticing your entire body. And then exhale, release any concentration that you have. Your breath is natural, not controlled, and we'll dive into some movement. So again, we'll kind of be starting from feet up. And so with your feet, just going to be gently seeing about lifting the heels of your feet, and then maybe lifting the balls of your feet. You can keep your feet down, or you can lift your feet away and do a little point and flex. And if you want, there's an option to move through your wrists at the same time. Or you can focus on one and then the other. And then maybe seeing if you can alternate. So lifting the ball of one foot and the heel of the other. And alternating with your hands as well. So almost like a pedaling motion. And I don't know if any of you heard those clicks. I think that was my toes or my ankle. And then when you're ready, just gently shaking it off. And we'll be doing fingers and toes. You can do toes first, then fingers, both at the same time. Scrunching your toes and your fingers, and then spreading them wide. Scrunch and spread. And you can have your feet down on the floor, or you can lift them up. As you scrunch, think about creating tension, and as you release, fling, almost like you're flicking water off your hands. One more, and then Release, maybe again, bit of a shake. And we're going to do some ankle and wrist turns. So we're going to do one side and then the other. Again, as big or as small or not at all movements as you like. So just turning through, I'm going through my right ankle and wrist first. Again, you can have your foot down or lifted. A few in one direction. Oh, and my right ankle's super clicky. And switching the other way. And yep, I can't stop clicking. And then maybe one more. And releasing that out. Switching sides, so whichever is your other side. A few turns the one way. And I notice my left ankle feels much more uncomfortable, restricted. Not judging it, just noticing. And coming the other way. Few turns in the opposite direction. And then releasing it out again. If you want a little shake, that's absolutely fine. So moving through the legs, and there's an option to move your arms either as well as or instead of. So again, we're going to be doing one arm, one leg, but opposite this time. So as you straighten through one leg, you straighten through one arm and bring it back. And then the other and back. So just straightening one arm, one leg. So almost like you're reaching out to someone in a very odd way of shaking hands. Shaking hands and feet. So just a few times. So we're straightening through legs, working the knees, straightening through arms, working the elbows. And now, if you like, the next time you straighten, you can pause here and take a few breaths and think about pointing your toes and reaching your fingers away as you lift up through the top of your head. So feeling that engagement in your tummy. And maybe drawing your one hand up towards the ceiling. And on your next exhale, gently release down. Oh, don't know about you, but I really felt that in my quad on my extended leg. So we'll try that the other side. Again, so straighten your other leg, reach your fingertips away from you. And again, think reaching, like you're really reaching for something in front of you. With your fingers, with your toes, remembering to breathe, that engagement of your core. And maybe your fingertips float up towards the ceiling, feeling an openness in the side of your body. And exhale, release it out. Have a little shake. And again, really felt that in my quads. So moving up the body, a little bit on the hips. So we'll be drawing the knee in towards the chest. Might be a little, might be a lot. Hands can support, or you can do this without. I find it easier to scooch a little bit to the edge of my chair. You may prefer the support, so it's your choice. Again, just check you're nice and tall, drawing up through the top of your head. Thinking shoulders back and down. When you're ready, drawing your knee up and then releasing it down. And switching sides. So gentle movement. And again, you can keep your foot so that it's on the floor, just the heel lifts. Or you may find you can draw your knee a little higher. Maybe you can draw higher one side than the other. It's perfectly fine. Just gentle movements through your hips. And I'm going to do one more each side. Maybe you're visualizing this, maybe you're supporting yourself and releasing out over that. And then taking your feet a little bit wider. So maybe just a little bit wider than your hips, maybe super wide. Here is about comfortable for me. Hands coming somewhere on your thighs, on your knees, and we're going to do some circles. So just moving back and around, almost like it was Halloween recently. There's a big bubbling cauldron and you're stirring your big bubbling pot of potion. I've spent too much time around kids and witches. And maybe one more in this direction before we switch it up. And coming the other way. So just letting your breath be natural. Moving, feeling whatever sensations or not that you feel. And coming back to center. And taking a breath. You may feel more stable with your legs a bit apart. That's fine. We're going to move through the side of the body with some lateral stretches. So you can have your hands either on your waist or on your hips, or if you have arms on the chair, you can have them on the arms, or reaching down towards the floor. Your choice. Take an inhale to lift, lengthen, feel tall. And as you exhale, just gently drop to one side. And then inhale as you lift up and gently drop the other side. And so just gentle side to side lateral movements. You'll notice you kind of compress the one side and stretch out the other. And then you switch around. And then we're going to pause on this next side stretch here and take a breath. Now there's an option. You can bring your hand to your shoulder and maybe point the elbow up towards the ceiling. I can feel that. Or maybe even reach the hand up towards the ceiling. Ooh. I'm going to bring my hand back down. That feels a bit intense for me. And then we're going to switch sides. So as you inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop the other side. Notice your shoulders. Have they crept up? Can you soften them down? And then again, same option if you'd like. You can bring your hand towards your shoulder and think about drawing the elbow up, creating even more space along this side. And maybe reaching the hand up. And taking a few breaths. One more breath here. And then exhale, gently release. And as you can see, my cat has now decided to join the party, so I hope you all like cats. We'll ignore her for now. As we come a bit more through the spine, we'll be moving back and forth in a cat-cow position. She chose her timing well. So I'll turn to the side so you have a bit of a better view. So again, sitting nice and tall, neutral spine. And then as you inhale, you lift the chest, arch the back gently. And as you exhale, you're rounding through, tucking your chin to your chest. And just gently rocking back and forth. Inhale, create this space in the front of your body. Exhale, create space down your back. So just gentle movements back and forth. And if you'd like, you can continue with your hands low, coming up and down your thighs. Or you can bring your hands out to the side and then in front of you. Or you can have them low, doing exactly the same thing. So moving back and forth as I remove my cat. Never work with kids or animals. And we'll do one more each way. And then gently releasing out. maybe having a little bit of a wriggle. So we've done side to side, backwards, forwards. I'm going to gently twist. So again, your hands can be somewhere on your thighs. And then you bring one hand towards your knee, the other hand draws back towards your hip as you turn to gaze over your shoulder. And then inhale forward, exhale, twist the other way. So gently moving in your twist. It may be that your hands barely move. It's more your shoulders that move. That's fine, as big or as small as works in your body today. And then this next time we're going to pause for a little bit in this twist. You can always bring it so both your hands are on the outside edge of your thigh. Taking a breath. And then inhale forward, exhale the other way. And again, a little pause, a couple of breaths. And again, option to bring both hands so they're on the outer edge of your leg as you turn and look over your shoulder. On your next inhale, coming forward, exhale, release, and any kind of shimmy shake you want to do. So moving through the shoulders now. So we're going to do just a few shoulder rolls each direction. So I tend to start with up, back and down. Just a few mindful rolls. I do my movements quite big, quite exaggerated so that you can see. Don't feel like yours have to be this big. And then we're going to come the other way. So almost like you're shrugging forward and down, like when you shrug your coat on. Just a few of these. And then coming back, taking a breath, checking in. Have you found that you kind of slouched a bit? We all do, no judgment. So if you like, readjust so you're supported by your chair, or just consciously think about sitting tall, moving through the neck. So don't rush this, moving nice and slow. We're going to start with our yes movement, so up and down. So inhale, spine stays long, lift your chin, space in the front of your throat. Exhale, chin draws down to your chest. And 2 more times each way. So inhale, lift, exhale, down. Last time here, inhale, lift, exhale, down. Inhale, come back to center, reset, and we're going to be doing our no movement, side to side. So keeping your spine where it is. Inhale, exhale, turn like you're gazing over one shoulder, but no twist this time. Inhale to center, exhale, other way. 2 more times each side. Inhale forward, exhale, turn. Inhale and exhale. Inhale back to center. So we've done our yes, we've done our no, we're going to do our maybe. So this time, inhale, exhale, drop one ear towards that same shoulder. And inhale, lift, exhale, the other side. Again, 2 more times each side. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you drop. Slow, controlled, no rush. Inhale as you lift, exhale, release it out. And if there's any free movement you want to do through your neck or your shoulders, now's a great time to do it. And so we're going to do what's kind of ironically known as chair pose or an as if. So you may want to be supported back in the chair. Again, you may want to be closer to the edge. And we're going to do a hinging motion, like we're bringing our chest forward almost as if we're going to stand up, but we're not. So the spine in our cat-cow was rounding and flexing, and this time we want to keep it neutral, as straight as is possible. And we move from the hips. So I take my fingers and kind of place them in that hip crease. So then when you inhale, you lift and lengthen, and then when you exhale, you hinge forward and you feel that compression on your fingertips. And then you inhale and lift up. And exhale, forward. And inhale, lift. So doing this a couple more times. And then, if you like, you can take your hands away. Now you can have your hands either on your hips or your waist, or maybe on your thighs. And this time, going to inhale as you start. Exhale as you lean forward and almost like you're going to get up, oh, but not quite, and come back. Maybe have a reset. Inhale, and as you exhale, hinge forward and oh, like you're going to lift up, but you don't. One more time. Inhale and exhale, and then release. Take a breath. So the goal actually isn't to come to standing, just to be very clear. The goal is to engage your muscles, because you engage everything. Your stomach, your legs, even your feet, your hands, just trying to like you're going to stand up, but you're not. So just to be clear, I wasn't expecting any of you to stand up. That wasn't the point. So we're going to do 3 more times. This time, there is an option to reach your hands in front of you, either kind of lower down, shoulder height, or kind of towards that crease where your wall meets the ceiling. So whichever option you're going to do, I'm going to reach my hands right in front of me. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, brace. Last time. And inhale, lift, exhale, release. So again, if you ever want to have a little shimmy or wriggle, as some of you know, I have a pain condition, which means that actually sitting still doesn't work so well for me. I fidget quite a lot. So we've done a bit of kind of middle core, lower body. We're going to do a little bit through the arms. So I'm going to sit back so I'm nice and supported. And we're going to do a little arm flow, linking the movements with the breath. So if you get muddled up and you're breathing out when I say breathe in, or your arms are down and mine are up, doesn't matter. Just keep breathing. Move as much or as little as you can. And let me just throw the cat out again. She's annoyed because she thinks it's lunchtime. It's not lunchtime for her. So we're going to start. Palms together, hands roughly kind of the middle of your chest. And then interlacing your fingers as best you can. And then with the breath, as you inhale, think about drawing your elbows up and your hands can draw apart. And take a breath here. And then as you exhale, going to turn your knuckles away from you and bring your hands out in front. And take a breath here. It doesn't matter if your hands are down low, it's fine. And then you're going to turn so your palms are away from you. And inhale, lift your hands up towards the ceiling. So it doesn't matter how high you get. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, big wide circle out. And bring your hands back to palms touching. So we'll do that again, a bit quicker this time, so each movement will be on an inhale or exhale. So we'll take an inhale to start. Exhale, interlace your fingers. Inhale, lift your elbows. Exhale, knuckles away from you. Inhale, palms away, lift the hands. Exhale, release. Come back down. And inhale, bring your palms together. Exhale, interlace your fingers. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, knuckles away. Inhale, palms away and lift. Exhale, release out. One more time. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, interlace fingers. Inhale, lift your elbows. Exhale, knuckles draw away. Inhale, palms away and up. Exhale, release. And then couple of breaths. Notice how that feels in your hands, in your shoulders. My joints in this cold and wet weather feel quite tender, so I can really feel it, especially that position. Not pain, but definite stronger sensation. So again, we've done a bit of upper body. We're going to do a little bit of lower body. So again, taking your knees apart as wide as is comfortable. So this was a position we did last week. We're going to repeat it, coming for our warrior two kind of stance. So your feet are apart and your knees and your toes are pointing kind of out to the side. And thinking about drawing your knees away from each other. So if you have your hands kind of on your outer thighs or knees, thinking about pressing your knees into your hand. So not super strong, but enough that if you use your hands, you wouldn't be able to close your legs. And as you're doing this, maybe notice if you feel that sensation, that energizing through your thigh and leg muscles and maybe in your glutes. And then reaching your hands so your palms are kind of parallel to the floor, maybe shoulder height, maybe it's lower, but just reaching your fingertips. And there is always the option to have one or both hands on your waist. And then turning to look over your right hand. So looking at your fingertips, whether they're at shoulder height or low down, or looking towards your elbow if you have your hands on your waist. And a couple of breaths here. Again, maybe think about that activation through your legs and your fingers. And I'm really starting to feel it, so I'm going to do one more breath here. And then exhale, release down. And we'll do that the other side. So you can let your legs and glutes and everything have a little relax. And then think about that engagement. So not like you're super tensing, but just a light engagement. And reaching your hands again. So palms are roughly parallel to the floor, turning to look over your left hand this time. And smooth breaths here, smooth breaths in and out. You don't have to force them to be particularly slow, but just letting them naturally move in and out. engagement right to your fingertips. Think about maybe pushing your heels into the floor, feeling how that engages your legs. And exhale, release. There we go. And we're going to keep our legs where they are. And you're going to turn your fingertips so that they are facing your inner thighs, and think about drawing your shoulders kind of up, back and down, creating this space. Almost think about kind of a super kind of power pose, like, you know, a chap in a boardroom who wants to make himself look really big and powerful and strong, and that's the kind of thing we're going for. We want to feel strong in our body, create space, take up space. We spend a lot of time making ourselves small. Here we want to be big, we want to take up space. Taking a breath. And then thinking about, I'm going to take my right shoulder and see if I can bring it towards my left knee. So obviously they're not going to touch, but just drawing it down. And then when I next inhale, lifting up, and exhale the other way. Pause here, and on your next inhale, lifting up, exhale, gentle twist. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist. One more time, each side. Trying for smooth movements, big or small. And then inhale, lift up, exhale, sigh it out, and then you can walk your feet in, step them in. And again, we're going to do a little bit of a low body stretch. So again, we did this last week. I'm going to turn at an angle just so you have a better view. So sitting nice and tall and straightening one leg as much as is comfortable. So it doesn't matter if there's still a bend in your knee, that's fine. It doesn't have to be totally straight. It's more about what it feels like than what it looks like. So you're wanting to aim to feel in the back of your thigh and maybe your calf. So having your leg as straight as is comfortable, your heel is on the floor, and then think about flicking your toes so you're bringing your foot back towards your face. And this may be perfectly fine. You may be able to feel that stretch in your calf, in the back of your thigh. And like the hinging motion we did with the as if, thinking about that same hinging motion. So back is straight, and then just gently hinging forward. So like you're folding over this straight leg. I'm going to have both my hands on my bent leg for support. And remembering to breathe. So you can look down towards those toes. Doesn't matter how far you go or how lifted you are. One more breath here. And then as you inhale, gently lift up, exhale. We're going to switch sides. So again, I'm staying at an angle so that it's a bit of a better view. So again, straightening this one leg as much as is comfortable. Doesn't matter if there's still a bend. And then flexing your foot so your toes are drawing back towards you. Or again, visualizing that. And thinking about drawing up through the top of your head, creating space here in the side of your body. And then on your next exhale, that hinge movement from your hips. My left side is much tighter, so I don't need to go anywhere near It's more like a slight lean than a fold. And just taking a few breaths. Again, maybe looking down towards your toes. Some people do this and, they can grab their toes. I need a lot of help to do that. So taking a breath. And on your next inhale, gently lifting up. Exhale, releasing out. And coming to sit comfortably. So we're going to do a little bit of a breathing exercise. So it's called 3-part breath. So we're not actually separating your breath. We're going to breathe into the 3 different parts of your body. So we'll start by breathing and focusing on the top part of your chest. Then we'll breathe and focus on the sides of the ribs, and then breathe and focus on the belly. So you can be nice and supported in your chair. And you can bring one or both hands, so resting on the top of your chest, like your fingertips are on your collarbones. And just taking a few breaths here. You can close your eyes if that helps you, turn inward, or soften your gaze. Now you may notice not much movement in this top of your chest, that's fine. You may notice quite a lot of movement in the top of your chest. That can indicate kind of shallow breathing. So one more breath here. And then bringing your hands to the side of your body, so side of your ribs. You can either have your elbows out to the side or kind of wrapping around like you're giving yourself a little hug. And then as you breathe here, noticing that gentle expansion as you breathe in and the contraction when you breathe out. So I'm breathing quite deeply so that it can be visible on screen. May be much more subtle in you. One more breath here. And then releasing your hands and bringing them low down on your belly, on your abdomen. And this time breathing in and out and noticing that little lift of your hands when you breathe in and the softening as you breathe out. Now you may need to consciously direct your breath down into your belly. And obviously air doesn't actually fill your belly, but it works your diaphragm, which is absolutely what we want. So a few more breaths here, your own pace, your own rhythm. And then if you like, you can take one hand and bring it back to the top of your chest. The other hand can stay low. And as you breathe in, think about the top of your chest, the side of your ribs and your belly, all lifting, expanding. And as you breathe out, everything drawing in, softening down. So that gentle in and out, breathing into the 3 different parts and breathing out the same way. And taking 2 more rounds of breath in and out. Your own pace, no rush. And when you're ready, if your hands have been on your body, you can gently release. And we're going to finish with our relaxation. So we're going to tense and release various body parts as we go up the body. So trying your best to focus the tension on the particular area. Other muscles get involved, it's fine. Or simply visualizing that contraction and release. So starting with your feet, you can keep them on the ground. I'm going to lift mine. As you inhale, scrunch your toes, create tension. Exhale, release. Your calf muscles, inhale, tense. Exhale, release. Tops of your thighs, backs of your thighs, your glutes. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, release. Your tummy, your abdomen, your low back. As you inhale, brace, tense. Exhale, let it all go. Your hands, your arms, inhale, create tension. Exhale, release. Your shoulders, your neck, and your chest. Inhale, create that tension. Exhale, release. And now your jaw, your facial features. Inhale, tense. Exhale, release. Let it all go. And then let your natural breath return. Your eyes can close. If they're not already, your gaze be soft. The natural in and out of your breath. If you like, when you breathe in, you can say to yourself, in. And as you breathe out, say to yourself, out. Just in and out. In and out. And then letting your breath be free, releasing any mantra, anything you're saying to yourself, letting your thoughts come and go. And you can invite some gentle movement back into your body. Maybe it's wriggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Maybe it's a gentle rock of your head side to side, shrug of your shoulders. Maybe a little yawn. Maybe a stretch through your arms and legs. Like you're waking up, like it's a brand new day. You can keep your eyes closed for a little while longer if you like, and then we'll end our session with a breath all together. You can do that arm movements or not. As you inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands can come down. Maybe a little bow, chin to chest. Thank you all very much for coming, sharing your practice with me, and putting up with all our little technological hitches. It's all good. Thank you.